Hi, my name is Yan Zhen.
Hi, my name is Rui Peng. This video is made about Latin American reconstruction, architecture 1955 to 1980. There is also an exhibition in MoMA.
MoMA staged the first Latin American architecture show in 1955, curated by Henry Hitchcock. 6 years later, MoMA staged another one, curated by Barry Burdock. The book, called Latin American in Construction Architecture 1955 to 1980, and we mainly focus on one of those chapters called Learning from Architecture, Public Space, Housing, and Landscape. The exhibition in MoMA is divided and organized by the typology of Latin America. When we first enter the exhibition, there is a map of Latin America on the floor. You enter it from the south end to the north. That is the opposite way people usually say Latin America, which is from north to the south. The UNAM Plaza extends from west to the east, from open around stadium to have dialogue with landscape, to the interior courtyards of classrooms and the more intimate space of residence and quarter. MoMA also provides this kind of space that duplicate the space from the photograph, let the people experience more. Housing experiments are given an entire wall of six-floor gallery arrayed along a timeline that helpfully notes local politics, catastrophes, and war events as part of the building context. Special space is allotted to a PRVI in Limar, Peru. This 1,500-unit low-cost housing project was hosted by UN in 1969. The Bank of London shows a new experimentation to approach reinforced concrete construction. It creates an entire new type of urban block which links interior space to straight to the sidewalk.
Barry Bogdo is Meyer Shapiro Professor of Art History in the Department of Art History and Archaeology at Columbia University, and curator in the Department of Architecture and Design at the Museum of Modern Art, New York. Barry says that if architects want to use the acupunctural urbanism of the 1990s to respond to the challenges facing globalizing cities today, the vital prerequisite should be the understanding of the complex history. So the book, Latin American Construction, can be regarded as a laboratory animated by many amazing projects, which can provide the materials for people to understand one of the most complex periods in Latin American history. About the structure, the first five parts illustrate the complex history and the practice of different Latin American architects. Barry used those five parts to support the last one, learning from Latin America.
In Barry's opinion, Brazil Pavilion is the point that Brazil modern architecture start to take off. Barry always believed that Latin American future was urban. For US and European critics, Latin American architecture was consistently challenged about the idea of modernism as a universal and public project. Some of them failed and some of them succeed. No matter what, from alternative practice, it is experimentation of projecting the future, not only just build a present. At the dawn of 20th century, under the ideology of City Beautiful movement, the urban campuses of Columbia University, New York University, and the University of California, Berkeley advanced to the hyperstheme of campus as a fragment of an ideal city. At UNAM, by contrast, gardens, patios, buildings, and the landscape are weaved together to create the most powerful public, developed as a national collaborative architecture work.
In this part, New Cities, the order of the territory, Barry mainly talked about two places, Brasilia and Venezuela. For Brasilia, Barry used 3 examples to demonstrate that the city established the modernity of Brazil and the maturity of its urbanism on a world stage, creating a public image to replace those of the lands of underdevelopment and tropical paradise. He also used 3 other examples to show the impressive growth of architecture linked to large-scale infrastructure in Venezuela. With those 2 places, Barry says that architectural modernism has almost always allied itself with the larger forces of modernization, in particular the rationalization of infrastructure and thus control of entire territories. In this part, Barry gives us 3 contemporaneous projects to show the influence of policy decisions or political events on urban development. In the last part, Barry directly told us how to learn from Latin America. He used the examples of Bovadi and Salmon to demonstrate that the attention paid to public spaces by Latin American architects continue to speak to an ethos of the power of individual projects to craft spaces of meaningful public interaction. He also argues that PREVI can become a valuable lesson in providing houses that can be supposedly according to the changing needs of their inhabitants.
Our arguments specific on the text learning from Latin America and the exhibition in MoMA. In the text, we can see that with too fast urbanization causes a lot of problems. For instance, lack of security and bad living conditions for poor people.
And besides Latin America, there are so many successful urban projects and series that we can learn. There are so many differences between different areas. How can the model of Latin America fit all the situations? Or it can just be adopted by a certain area?
So overall, our arguments can be divided into four parts. First, there are many failures in Latin America during that period. If we are going to learn from Latin America, there are good materials to know, to learn, and Barry didn't provide enough about that.
Secondly, nowadays globalization has similarities with Latin America from 1955 to 1980, but there are many differences that we need to be aware of. Different cities may need different models of development. Different areas have different political and cultural backgrounds. Latin America is a good example to learn, but Barry didn't mention the limits of learning from Latin America. There are also many other successful examples and theories about urban planning and development. So compared to those, what's the advantage of learning from Latin America? Barry didn't show us the comparison.
Last but not least, we want answers and conclusions about whether they found a way to solve massive urban problems or improve the lives of those most in need, but they are not in the exhibition in MoMA.
So this is our video. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.